I am so excited for this show. And let me tell you why, because the name of the show is Love My Body, Love Myself. And my guest today is going to share with us exactly how you do that. How do we love our bodies and love ourselves? We're going to talk about connecting the mind, the mindset, the soul, the spirit, and the body all together. So grab a friend, grab a glass of wine, grab a cup of coffee, whatever you got to do, grab something and stay tuned. We will be right back. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Love My Body, Love Myself. I'm your host, Alicia Couri, and today is the day you need to watch the show. And if you're watching us live, thank you so much for joining us live. But those of you watching us on replay, stick around for the whole show. It's going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me just take a quick message from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
FAMU's Mary. Educate, learn, talk.
As easy as that. So this show, is really important to me, and I'm excited to do it. I love doing it because I think it's vital for us to learn body positivity, learn how to love ourselves despite the journey that we're in. So if you're on Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't yet joined our Facebook group, you can go ahead and join it. It's facebook.com/LMBLM. Facebook.com/groups/LMBLM. If you're on YouTube, thank you for joining us on YouTube as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a lot of content over there on YouTube. It's youtube.com/C/Alicia Couri. And I welcome you to join and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. The Love My Body, Love Myself show is sponsored by FAMU Mary, and it's also sponsored by Audacious Concepts Inc. I need to change that because Audacious Concepts Inc. is the name of my company. We went through a rebrand not too long ago. So Audacious Concepts Inc. specializes in developing leaders and teams using brain science and people data. We help you with those nagging and persistent people problems that are clogging up your revenue pipeline. So check us out. It's audaciousconceptsinc.com. If you find any of this show valuable, please leave a comment. We'd love to interact with you. We are here live, so we want to interact with you if you are here with us live as well. So leave comments in the chat, and we'll make sure to acknowledge those as the show goes on. If you'd like to be a guest or sponsor any of our shows, please send an email to support@aliciacouri.com. Support@aliciacouri.com. All right, so now I've met this beautiful, amazing young woman a few months ago in Atlanta. We were at a conference together, and everything she teaches, everything that she helps her clients with, is everything that this show is about. So when I reached out to her and I said, could you be a guest on the show? And she said yes, I was over the moon. So I want to welcome, and we're going to dive into her story. We're going to talk about the work that she does. And I want to welcome to the show, Maria Angelova. Maria, welcome.
Hello, everybody. And thank you so much, Alicia. I'm so excited to be here. Like-minded spirits attract, right?
Yes, because I remember when we met in Atlanta, it was during lunch, and we sat next to each other, and we just hit it off immediately.
Yes, and here we are.
So I want to take people back because I always feel it's important to understand people's backstory, to understand what led them to doing the things that they're doing and why they're doing it. And so I want to go back a little bit into your childhood, into why health, why wellness, why fitness, why body positivity became so important to you. So share with us what your childhood was like.
So I had a very happy childhood. And about fourth grade, I was a very studious student. I come from a family of academics. I became the nerd. And that is not really the title you're going after, especially as you're getting into your teen years. And what made things worse is I started developing my girly curves and kids started making fun of them. So
Mm.
now I was the nerd with the big butt. And as you can imagine, that is not the title you're going after, especially as a teenager. And that is what started my journey to the gym. I started going to the gym regularly at the age of 12. I fell in love with it. I was there religiously and it became my outlet. It became my happy place. I'm originally from Bulgaria, which is in Eastern Europe. With my family, we relocated to the United States in 1992 when my dad was invited to be a professor, an exchange scientist professor at the University of Georgia. And I told my dad, I want to have a membership to the gym. And my dad was a dreamer. He was a truly rebellious soul. And we went to the gym. And if you can imagine, you're a teenager and you know those moments when your parents truly embarrass you. I had one of those moments when my dad said, I would like to get a free membership for my daughter. The general manager just looked at him and he said, well, we don't have anything like that. And my dad said, so what can she do to get the free membership? And the GM said, she can teach classes. So my dad said, so what does she need to do to teach classes? And I am observing this whole conversation going, what is wrong with this man? I've never taught a class in my life. We're in a different country.
Yes, English is not my first language.
Yes. And the GM said, she can do an audition and we'll see how she does and we'll hire her if she is good. We walked out and my dad was triumphant. He's like, there we go. There's your membership. And I was like, what are you talking about? I have never taught a class in my life. I just wanted to be a member and take classes. A week later, I started teaching step aerobics classes. I was 16 years old and I had a room full of adults expecting me to teach a class. And that is how my journey into the fitness world began.
Wow.
And that was at the age of 16. So almost 30 years later, I kind of had a sidetrack. As I mentioned, I come from a family of academia, grades and profession and getting a good corporate job were big in my family. So I did my MBA in finance, my undergraduate degrees in finance. I was in the corporate world in finance and operations for almost 20 years. And in 2012, I discovered Pilates, and it was a very unusual workout than what I was used to, which I'll talk more about that because I think it goes to exactly what your message is. And I was originally very unimpressed, but I fell in love with it. And I kid you not when I tell you it changed my life. 2016, I resigned my corporate job as a finance director and I started my journey, my company, Rebellious International, which is all about being yourself, your authentic rebellious self and following your purpose and your mission, whatever that is, and no matter what everybody else says. So that's my journey into fitness. And now I integrate fitness. I started as a fitness studio. Now I integrate mindset work, which is so key for transforming our life. And the cool thing is I leverage the body as a way to transform you.
Nice. I love it. So you never really had body image issues aside from between 12 and 16.
Well, that's what I said I wanted to mention. What I didn't realize is I got to the gym and I would do these high intensity workouts. It had to be an hour and a half workout or it doesn't count. My heart rate had to be at this point. I had to have this many calories burned. It was almost obsessive. And I think that's why when I discovered Pilates, I was like, I didn't sweat. I didn't burn as many calories. My heart rate didn't go up. I was so confused. And as I started that journey and what Pilates really did for me is it allowed me to tune into my intuition and to my inner core as well as physical core and allowed me to connect to who I am. And what I realized is that actually I was using physical fitness as a way to kind of abuse my body, to make it be a shape that I thought it should look like, right?
Right.
And now I teach people exactly the opposite. Embrace your body, embrace who you are. I always tell I think women generally tend to deal with image issues more frequently than men. And like I tell my ladies, I've never had a man that says, this is fat. But ladies, it's, this is fat, this is fat, this is fat, this is hanging. It's like always this self-criticism. And a big part of my mission is to be, you know what, you've got one body, love it.
Yeah.
You know, my body would never look like yours, your body would never look like mine. We are all created different, and we can make it look better, but with having great lifestyle habits. But I think there's a difference, not I think, there is a difference between abusing your body, not taking care of it and loving it, and
Yeah.
doing exercise as a way to serve and treat your body rather than abuse it.
Because it's all about health. And if you can have the healthiest body, regardless of size, the shape, the form, if you focus more on the health of your body and how your body is going to serve you, that's more important than trying to be a
So
particular size or have a particular shape. So many women are having plastic surgery and doing different things to their bodies to create a shape, like even wearing those corsets to try to get their waist tiny, tiny, tiny. You know, it is a form of abuse because you're not really loving
you know,
what their body is. You're trying to reshape it in a very unnatural way. So, and it's not a judgment. I'm not saying that as a judgment on anyone if that's what you're doing. I'm saying it as, let's accept what's happening, make sure we're in the best health that we can be in, and that should be the goal, really.
well, and I think that comes with awareness, Alicia, right? Like, I didn't realize what I was doing was not coming from a point of self-love, right?
Hmm.
I did what I knew I did, and I didn't know what I didn't know. So I think once you start becoming aware and asking yourself, why am I doing that, right? Why am I doing these crazy intense workouts and I'm in pain and they're hurting me and they don't feel good? Why am I doing that to myself, right? That's
Is
what.
there a better way? That's another question. Is there a better way?
No, my big thing is I tell people fall in love with movement, and you never have to exercise a day in your life. Because think about the mental process most people have around fitness. Oh, I have to go to the gym. I have to do that. What if you change that to, I want to go to the gym. I want to go for a walk. I want to go for a run. I want to go ride my bike, right? I want to go for a coffee and a walk with my friend.
Hmm.
Right? It's a totally different mindset. It's a totally different vibes and energy when you're doing it versus, oh my gosh, like,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
people quit? Because it's not fun, right?
It's not fun. And I am not a gym person at all because people, again, look at me, look at my physique, which is a lot of genetics I have to give credit to genetically. But I do take care of it, but I'm not a slave to working out. And I don't go to the gym. I'm not a fan of the gym. I'd rather find other ways to keep my body moving, to
Think
keep I love dancing. I love to
it's
dance.
exercise. Yes.
Like people don't realize dancing is exercise. Do it every day, you know.
I think it's one of the best types of exercise because it also challenges you mentally, and it works on your coordination as well as, burn calories. It's fun and all of that.
It is fun. Yeah, and have fun with it. Have fun with what you're doing. And so I love your philosophy behind it and how it all came to being, because it's really about a mindset and an awareness of what am I doing to myself. Even going on diets, starving yourself or doing certain things, it's depriving yourself of certain things. It's not loving towards yourself.
And
Um,
that's what I preach, moderation. Like, I will never be that girl that never has ice cream or pizza in her life, right? So I don't have pizza every day and I don't have ice cream every day, but I do enjoy them and I have them, right? In moderation. Sometimes people are like, do you eat pizza? I'm like, yes, I
Me
do.
too. I eat pizza.
It's,
Pizza, burgers. I love carbs. I'm not what do you
sugar.
call it? Carb free
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's like you must not eat carbs or you must not eat. I eat everything. It's not about depriving yourself or depriving your life. It's about understanding how to do it the right way.
And I think that's also important to be aware of, right? What works for you. So for some people, being on no carbs works great for their bodies, right? They feel good, they have energy. Other people do like the keto, the intermittent fast. I mean, there's so many variations. What works for you? Is it eating 3 meals a day? Is it eating 3 meals and a snack? Is it eating one big meal? And like what works for you? And I think so often we fall into these fads and we just follow them brainlessly and on autopilot,
Yeah.
really tuning in and saying, does this feel good for me? Do I have energy? How is my vitality? Right?
Yes, it's energy and vitality. I had a health coach on a few weeks ago, and she really specializes in hormones, balancing your hormones and your liver function and your adrenals and those things. And she was stressing a couple things: how the body's dynamic, first of all, and you give it the right things, it'll respond the right way. But also that don't just shut off something unless you have a specific disease that it affects your body. Don't just shut a whole food group out of your life because you think that's what you need to do. Understand what your body is doing. Understand, because carbs is the conduit for your hormones. So if just hearing someone else say go on a low carb or no carb diet and you decide to do that, you could be sending your hormones into a whole mess without realizing it, thinking that you're doing the right thing for your body.
Well, and I think the same thing is with like the no fat diets, when that was
We need fats.
we need fats. And like personally, I don't buy anything that's low fat
Or no fat. Yeah, because it's
like
synthetic stuff in there.
Yeah, there's so many preservatives and sugars in it. It's a lot worse for you than having fat. Fat is necessary for us as well, right? But
Mhm.
again, we just hear these fats and we want, and this is the other thing, we want a quick fix, right?
Yes.
It's like haven't eaten well my whole life. I haven't exercised my whole life. I don't like the way I look and feel. So what can I do to my body to overnight turn it into something that I want it to be? And that's why we get into that whole abuse thing, right? I'm going to detox. Okay, great. So you're going to detox for 30 days and lose a bunch of water mass. And then what? Then you gain extra weight, right? Or you're going to go through some brutal exercises, which you've never exercised in your life. You're going to get hurt and then you're going to stop exercising, right?
Mhm.
So we tend to go to these extremes. Instead of embracing a lifestyle that we can sustain for life, right? Because
I'm all about that. Yeah.
You want to sustain a lifestyle that you can age with and age actively.
Yes, I love it. And there's a book by I want to remember his name, but it's called Atomic Habits. His name will jump into my head in a minute. But James Clear. Thank you, James Clear. And he talks about how we want to optimize a habit before we've even established the habit. So you want to start going to the gym and you want to spend an hour in the gym doing all kinds of exercises your first day when you haven't even built the habit of going to the gym and being someone who goes to the gym, first of all, and ease your way into the exercise so that it doesn't become difficult. So you do that for 3 days and then you, like you said, hurt yourself or damage something, or you're so exhausted and in pain that you can't even continue. And then you're like, oh, the gym's not for me. Well, and then you quit completely.
Yeah, I mean, we all know of the January crowd, right?
Right. Everybody crowds into the gym on January.
By the 15th of January, that crowd has left the gym, right? And it's back
thinned out significantly.
It's every year.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with more of Maria, and she's going to get deeper into Pilates and the benefits of it and how to really connect mind, soul, and body. So don't go anywhere. Let's just take a quick break. The Love My Body, Love Myself show is produced by Red Carpet CEO and brought to you by Audacious Concepts, Inc. Audacious Concepts, Inc. is a boutique consulting firm that specializes in providing audacious solutions to your nagging and persistent people issues clogging your revenue pipeline. For more information, visit audaciousconceptsinc.com. If you'd like a copy of Age with Audacious Confidence with 21 plus tips on how you can look and feel younger, go to our link tree at link.com bit.ly/a-couri and get your copy. Now here's a word from our other sponsors.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARY, to educate the public about medical marijuana use as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Empower yourself with knowledge. Find out more at mmeri.famu.edu. mmeri.famu.edu. MARY. Educate, learn, talk.
Welcome back to Love My Body, Love Myself. I'm your host, Alicia Couri, and with me is Maria Angelova, and her company is called Rebellious Inc. Rebellious International. Rebellious International. I love it because we need to live a rebellious lifestyle if we want to really do what's right for ourselves.
That's exactly right, Alicia. You nailed it.
So, let's talk about Pilates because you said Pilates changed your life. So let's dive into that. How did you discover it, and what are the benefits of Pilates?
I kind of discovered Pilates by chance. I was doing yoga and I wanted to get certified in yoga to add it to my certifications. And there was, if you can believe it, back at that time, 2012, there was not a yoga studio close by that offered certifications. So the closest thing that I found was a Pilates studio. And I said, I'll give it a go. And like I said, my first very workout, I was like very unimpressed. And what I came to find out later is that I was completely cheating. I have very strong legs and I was like no core or legs compensating. And what I love about Pilates is that it is all about precision. It is all about how you move, how you leverage the biomechanics of movement so that you leverage the correct muscles. When you do that, you get twofold benefits. One is you don't get injured because you're not wearing and tearing joints the way because your body is not moving the way it's not supposed to. And then you get great effectiveness, which is why you don't have to do 50 counts of something. You do most of the exercises, we do 2 to 4, 3 to 5 counts on some of them, maybe 10, but that's it. And by that time, you are so fried, like everything is shaking and burning. So it is extremely effective, which is, I love that about Pilates. It takes a while to get into it. So this is what people miss because Pilates, unfortunately, now is becoming commercialized, right? There is so much fine detail to executing each movement precisely. It's really a science and an art, and you kind of keep repeating the same thing over and over. It's super powerful because we're actually creating new neurological pathways, if you've heard of neuroplasticity, of how to move. So if you have bad habits, if you have misalignments, postural issues, we're taking the bad movement patterns out and installing new ones. So it takes time. It starts super slow. It doesn't start like a workout, as I could have attested.
Yeah.
My goodness, it gets to be such a great workout. It burns so deep because the work comes not from the high reps, not from the intensity, but from the depth of the muscles, which is why you have to do the high reps. It is phenomenal.
And it's a workout that dances.
Well, so it's funny you said that. Most people think that Pilates is for dancers. And that's because when Joseph Pilates, he was German, moved to the United States, his Pilates studio was with the New York Ballet. So a lot of the dancers started going to him for rehab and injuries, which is how Pilates started getting associated for dancers. But Pilates is definitely, I mean, I have male clients who love it. A lot of male athletes leverage Pilates for whether it's injury prevention or strengthen it. It's fantastic because we teach you how to move from the core. It's core, 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 core. Every single movement originates from the core. It's a tremendous mind-body concentration, which is how it changed my life. Because for that 1 hour that you're doing your workout, you cannot think of anything else, but your body is constantly checking which muscle is engaging. Am I in alignment? Is this activated? Is this compensating? It is tremendous. It gets you to really quiet in and connect to yourself. And I'll tell you, every single person who I've worked with has made a statement similar to, I can't believe how disconnected I'm from my body.
Wow.
And when you look at the side, it looks so easy. But when you do the movement correctly, it's like, oh my gosh, it burns so bad. And I love it when you show people an exercise and they're like, I got this. And then you show them and they're like, holy cow, why can my legs? I just talked to a client who tried the class and she said, it looks so easy and I could not even get my legs up. That's what makes it fun, right? It challenges you mentally, it challenges you physically. And it's, Joseph Pilates said, be in control of your body, not in its mercy. And I love that because
Mm,
we are in aches and pains. We can't function fully, right?
yeah.
That's why I love the power of Pilates, because it's something, the oldest person I have seen done Pilates was 92.
And that was my next question. That was the next thing I was going to ask, is because it's not high intensity, because it's not this wear and tear on your joints, and even your muscles, that this is something, if you integrate it into your life, you can do it
Correct.
forever, because it's not creating pain or damage or
Right.
to the joints. And it's more intense than yoga, though, would you
Well,
say?
it's different. It's very different. So I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people think of Pilates as yoga as kind of the same thing, but they're very different. They do share a lot of the common principles. However, the applications of those principles is pretty pretty completely different. Pilates, we do a lot of the exercises lying down, which takes the pressure off the joints. It's one of the best exercises you can do for rehab, for back pain, neck pain, hip injuries, knee injuries, anything like that. Like if you think of somebody with neck pain, if they do the vinyasas, right, and like the downward dogs, that's a lot of pressure on the
On
upper
the
body.
neck and the
Versus Pilates is very light on that. And then we can add on top of that modifications, like if somebody has an injury, it's truly amazing.
ah, I think I first tried Pilates, but they used to have the machines. I didn't do the machine. I first tried like some of the Pilates exercises about 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Mhm.
And it was really different, because I was like the cardio queen. Like I had my Billy Blanks, you know,
Me, kickboxing.
boxing. I was like the cardio. I wanted to do the cardio stuff. Um, and then I moved into Pilates, and I was like, wow, this is hard. And I
Mhm.
think I stopped because it was hard.
I'll tell you,
It
it
was hard.
challenges people, I think mentally, especially type A personalities who are used to, we're so used to go, 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 right? The fast workouts, pump, so many reps, right? Versus it's like slow down, connect this. Do you feel your
Mhm.
toe? Do you feel your hips? I'll ask people like, now keep your hip where it is and do this. And literally, I kid you not, this happens. They look at me and they blink and they're like, I don't know how to do that. Like true stories.
Yeah,
And
I don't know how to move my body in that. I don't know what to do.
yeah. And that's where we realize we're not in control of our body. We don't know how to talk to our body. And it's a phenomenal way to learn about yourself. The way somebody moves tells you a lot about their personality.
Mm.
Ways a body is flexible or not tells you a lot about their thinking. So you can tell a lot through the body. The way I started getting into more of the emotional impact on movement was when I started seeing people's patterns of movement change. And I started asking them, what's going on? What's different? And I started realizing maybe there's something really stressful that has happened in their life. They have had a really crappy day.
Mm.
Maybe they spend the prior day like taking a long flight, or which is more posture, it's more physical. But there is definitely an implication of if you eat the wrong food, that's going to reflect into how you move, into your mobility. If you didn't sleep well, if you didn't hydrate. But we're so disconnected. Our
We
bodies,
don't even know when that's happening.
yeah, our body talks to us constantly and is giving us feedback, we just don't have time to pay attention to.
Mm. And I try to be a lot more connected to my body. Like immediately when I feel something off, I start tracing, well, what did I do to, like, if I stand up on my knee, kind of, I get a little pain in my knee. I'm like, what was I doing that created that situation? Maybe I need to stop sitting that way, or putting weight this way. And so I try to be a little more sensitive to anything that's a little off. But I know that even if I start doing Pilates, when I start doing Pilates, I say when I start doing Pilates, I will have an even more connected awareness of my body. Because
Absolutely.
I saw a video that you did. It's on your Facebook. So if anyone wants to connect with Maria, you can send her an email. This is the email, her email address, Angelova at rebellious-intl.com. But I saw you were talking about, the alignment between your
Mhm.
hip, knees, and ankles, and how just a little bit off on that alignment, you can start feeling a little bit of pain,
Mhm.
and you'll go through feeling that pain. And honestly, a lot of people will just take a painkiller to block the
Yes.
pain
Yep.
instead of understanding,
What
why is
caused
my hip feeling this way, or why am I suddenly have knee pain, what's going on, and then fix that alignment. Because
that's
I
it.
mean, I go to the chiropractor every week to make sure that my alignment, so that
Spine
my
is in. Yep. Spine.
yes, my spinal cord, there's nothing shutting off the signals to the rest of my body through my spinal column, because that can happen very quickly and very easily. So I love that video.
It's, to give you a prime example, somebody came and she said, my knee is bothering me. And she happened to have her annual checkup the prior day. And the doctor told her, just put some painkiller on it, right? And I said, okay, that's fine, right? It will help you temporarily dull the pain, but let's figure out what's causing the pain, because this is how we get in trouble. What happened for her was she was wearing flip-flops without
Mhm.
support. So she was not having the right support for her feet. So that started getting into her knees. Now, if you don't correct that and continuously have an altered gait, over time that's going to start wearing your knees. Well, guess what's going to happen going higher up? That's going to start affecting the hips. And guess what's stacked on that? Your spine,
That's
right?
fine.
And so everything is interconnected. So once you have a misalignment, it becomes a full body dysfunction. And a lot
Mm.
of times, like what we did for her is we released the tight muscles. And she was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe, like, my knee pain is gone. She came in with knee pain. She walked out with no knee pain. But it was identifying the cause, then releasing the tension that was caused by misalignment, working on getting her back aware to where her alignment was. She's good to go.
Yes. And it could be that simple.
It could
It
have,
could be that simple to get. But again, like you're saying, if you ignore it and you dull the pain with painkillers over time, it's going to exacerbate. So it's not just going to be in the knee, it's going to be in the knee and the hip. It's going to be in
yep,
the ankle, the knee, the hip, the spine. Then you have backaches. And you're wondering, why
yes.
is my back hurting now? Oh my God, it's just getting, it's just like compounding, because you are compounding it by not treating it at the root, treating it at the source. And that was for her, no flip flops. Like, stop the flip
Or
flops.
get people
Use
that
some,
have better support.
or have something with some arch support in it, not just flat on
Flat rate. Mhm.
right. And that could have fixed, some Dr. Scholl's could have fixed it all.
Right. Exactly right. Wow, that sounds like a commercial, Lacey.
I know. I shouldn't mention a actual brand, but like something with some orthotics or some arch support could have corrected that very
We all
quickly
have to
and
be
easily.
aware of, we all have, like today I was talking to somebody who has a little bit of a hyperextension in her back, and that's how it has been for her whole life. But after she had pregnancies and some injuries, that's starting to put more and more and more pressure on her back. It's her abs are weakened, so it's starting to cause aches and pains as she's aging. So those are the things that, and I'll tell you, like, sometimes, especially people with injuries, they come and will do some stuff and they'll be like, that didn't feel like a workout. And I'll be like, how's your back? And they're like, wow, my back doesn't hurt. And they're so surprised of, like, they're almost shocked, like curious, suspicious, like,
Like,
why
how
was
did
it
that
happening?
happen? How did you do that? Is
And
it
they'll be like,
magic?
oh my gosh, after the workout, I was wiped out and it didn't feel like we were doing much. So a lot of times I'll tell people, you might not realize, but we actually did a lot of work today, because it's basic and slow. It's not what we are used to calling a workout. But
Mm-hmm.
you might feel it. And sometimes people are like, I can't believe I was sore after that. We barely moved. But it's, again, nailing
Intense
down the
movement.
biomechanics. Yes. And moving with intent and how you're supposed to. Makes a
And hydrate. You gotta hydrate, because
I think together, right? You have to have the basics, the hydrate, the sleeps, the nutrition, especially as we age, that becomes so key. And You can't just beat yourself to work out and eat crap and not sleep, not hydrate, drink caffeinated drinks and all that. You have to have balance.
And so the alignment, oh, I just love that, because when you're doing Pilates, you have to be very focused, because you, again, the movements are very, very deliberate.
Mhm.
And so when you can't zone out. So there's a lot of mindfulness practicing happening. Like you said, the neural pathways are you're recreating, or you're creating new neural pathways to connect your mind and body, because you have to be very mindful and very present. You can't just keep thinking, you could do reps and think about 100 other things while you're just doing reps and being mindless about it. But when you're doing Pilates, it really encourages you to focus in on that mind and body connection. And that's a wonderful thing, really, because so many of us, like you said, aren't connected.
And that's why I tell people, I'm like, I'm not a personal trainer, and I do this because I think when people think of a personal trainer, that's what they think. That's why I am a coach who teaches you how to move, right? Who teaches you how to connect to yourself. And the other thing I wanted to bring up, when we think of alignment, we usually think of physical alignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
That also goes into, are you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually aligned with yourself, right? So once again, you have the physical aspect of it, but then you have the whole other aspect of, are you aligned with yourself? Are you the rebel that you're meant to be? So it all comes
Yeah.
back really interestingly together.
So, what is some of the mindset challenges that you've had to help your clients work through when it comes to doing Pilates and accepting this is the new normal for them?
So for sure, one of the big things is slowing down, right? And I always set up expectations. Just so you know, in the beginning, this will not feel like a workout. The first question is for how long? I don't know. It depends on your awareness, depends on how you do, right?
God,
But
I would be the worst client for you.
you have to come with that expectation. Like I tell people, if you want to work out with me, you have to earn the right to work out. You can't just flip and flop around. You have to have control and awareness of your body. So that's especially for the type A's, which I do get a lot of type A's. You can see the frustration, like, oh my gosh, why can I not do this basic thing, right? Which plays with your mind then,
Well, why
right?
can't I do it faster? Can we get
I want to do it faster, better, right? So it becomes a mind game. So that's one. The other thing is being frustrated with something that's simple, that looks like it's simple, that your body cannot do, right? And again, a lot of times the exercises look simple, but when you try them, they are not simple. So once
and it's
again,
having patience,
with your mind, yeah,
the patience to take your time through that process and learn the right
way,
form.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge. The learning people to embrace what they've got, right? If they have a limitation, let's take that and let's embrace it, and let's make your body stronger and see if we can push that, right?
Mhm.
But it takes acceptance. I teach people, you have to respect your body when you're moving. If you do something that causes you pain as you're moving, now you're abusing or hurting your body is not trusting you. You have to establish that trust relationship with your body, so your body trusts you, and
Mm.
you have to learn to trust yourself to move correctly. People with pain, one of the big things that I have to help people through is the mental aspect, because they're in
Yeah.
pain. And when you ask them to do something, you see their eyes kind of pop, you see their
Yeah, I
body
was just
because
thinking about that.
they're
Yeah.
anticipating pain, right? And for some of those people, if they have muscles which are used to being lazy and dormant, and we start waking those muscles up, there's discomfort, right? So pushing them past that discomfort, encouraging them. The other thing that a lot of people with pain think is, when I'm in pain, I should stop moving. That's like the worst thing you can do. I mean, unless you're in acute pain or like have a fracture or something like that. You want to keep moving, but you want to keep moving smartly, right? You don't
Hmm.
want to cause, because what happens is the minute there is weakness, compensations kick in. And if you allow those compensations to keep developing over time, they're going to cause you even more problems. So getting people past that mental state of, and it's amazing how you can see their growth, because there's, and
They
then
start with the deer in the headlights, like,
yeah, and then they stop moving and they're like, there's no pain, there's no pain, there's no pain. there's no pain. They're so amazed, like,
They're expecting it and then not getting it.
yeah. And then when you see, what's really powerful for me is when you see and they're like, oh my gosh, I jumped on the trampoline with my kids and there was no pain. Or like I was able to garden, when they return to activities that they enjoy doing and there is no pain. And seeing that transformation for them, not just physically, but what it does for them mentally, it's
Hmm.
huge. Like for me as a coach, that's priceless.
Yeah. And you said something super, super important. I hope people did not gloss over that. It's learning to trust your body. And when your body is in pain, you don't realize that you stop trusting that it can be well, or it can not be in pain, or you can move in a certain way and not have pain. So you have this mental expectation which holds you back.
Mhm.
It holds you back from doing certain things, or trying certain things. And so it's really about freeing your mind, trusting your body to do what it was designed to do. And that's why I said I'm just so excited to have you here, because there are things that people probably have never thought about that you're expressing now, that they've never looked at that mind body connection in that way, and how important it is to feel even when you're feeling pain, because feeling the pain can help you get to the root of the problem instead of dulling the pain. But you have to speak to the right professional.
Yes, I mean, pain is your body's red flag for, hey, I need attention, right? And like you said, most people pop a pill, put a cream, let's keep going, and then the problem gets worse and worse and worse. This is like a message that I really want to spread with people: is you're not meant to live in pain.
Hmm.
Pain is not natural as you get old. I mean, yes, we wear and tear. That does happen. Our muscles weaken. That does happen.
You don't have
However,
to make the old people noise when you get out of a chair.
the sound effects.
You know, oh God.
That's a choice to live like that, okay? And you do not have to kill yourself to not experience those sound effects. That's the other thing that's
Yeah.
very important. People think they need to go to the gym and they're like dreadful, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? No, you start nice and slowly and gentle and do the right moves and create strength in your body and create flexibility and endurance. And your body's like, woo, let's go.
Yes. And then you feed it the right things, and then you do the right things for it, and watch it just blossom into the body that you didn't even know you could have. I've heard so many women who started a journey of better health, better fitness, say that their bodies are better in their 40s and 50s than it was in their 20s and 30s. It's possible.
It's possible. And what I will tell you, Alicia, is like, I am 45 now and I have never been stronger in my life than I am now. I mean, have things changed? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what? The other thing that has changed is I have really loved to embrace what my body is and to be comfortable in it. And I had somebody once told me, you should write a book on, what did he say? On how to be comfortable in your body. He said
Yes.
that's a very elusive skill, because yeah,
Yes.
people are uncomfortable. And I have some of my ladies, we're actually doing a really fun thing. I have some ladies who express like discomfort in their bodies, and I said, we have to do something like way out of our comfort zone to embrace our bodies and what they can do. So we're doing a rebellious outing. We're going pole dancing, you know
Yes.
let's get uncomfortable and embrace those bodies and get them moving and have a fun and a blast.
Yes. I love that so much, because that really opens you up in a whole lot of different ways. Like it works on your confidence level, because and
Absolutely.
having fun, when you're having fun, especially in a group of other people who
Safe place.
are shedding their insecurities and their vulnerabilities, and you're able to share that with each other, that is so powerful. And because you're all stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something you've never done before. It's not like, oh, of course you'll be good at this. and then everybody else is shamed and embarrassed. It's like none of us have ever done this, and we're all
That's the
going to
funny
be.
thing, you know, some of the ladies are like, I've never done this before. And I'm like, guess what? Neither have I.
Never mind, let's go.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what you look like, because we're all going to look ridiculous. We're all going to look ridiculous doing this.
Hey, I used to say we're going to look sexy, Alicia, okay?
At first, we're all going
Ridiculous.
to look ridiculous. And we're going to laugh and we're going to have a good time, but then we're going to embrace, we're going to shed that, this kind of everybody's watching me and insecurity and what am I going to do? And we're just going to have fun. We're going to fall. We're going to have a good time. And then we're going to get to connect to our sexy. And we're going to get to connect, because now we're not worried about anybody else watching, because everybody is trying their best.
Everybody's talking about what they're doing.
What they're doing.
Survival.
Nobody has time to look at you. so that's really beautiful. And I really, again, this is why I wanted to do this show so much, because we really need to get in touch with our bodies, love the skin that we're in, regardless of what it looks like. You have to love it first before you can allow anybody else to love it. You have to love it.
That is so well said. And, even you started talking about surgery in the beginning, and, that's something that I don't have judgment for it. If that's something that's going to make you feel good, go for it. I think what's very important is that you do it because that's something that you want to do, right? Not because somebody else is telling you don't look the right way or getting in your head. You have to do what's right for you and do the best that you can to take care of yourself. And, our body is a reflection of what's going in here too, right? So if there is a mishmash and a lot of activity going there, that will reflect in our body. So that's also something to pay attention to. What is the message our body is giving us?
And again, understand what your hormones are doing, because as women, our hormones can play a huge part in our bodies not functioning the way it's supposed to function. So really understand the hormone, what's happening with your hormones, what's happening with your thyroid, what's happening with and again, your mindset is very important, because the chemicals that drive the hormones start in the brain. So it's really important how you think about yourself. You don't want to release the wrong hormones by thinking negatively about yourself. You want to release the happy hormones and the good hormones that are going to make your body even better. So, I thank you so much for showing up, Maria. We're about out of time.
I love this conversation. Thank you so much for having me, Alicia.
Well, when I bring the show back again next year, because we're going to take a little break, but when I bring it back, I definitely want you to come back and we can continue this conversation. But I just want to thank you. And I hope this conversation has served you, those of you who are watching, to understand better about how our bodies react and move and the mind-body connection. And please reach out to Maria. Let me give you all the ways that you can connect with her. So you can connect with her via email at angelova@rebellious-intl.com. You can check her out on the website. It's www.rebelliousstudio.com. And then for those of you on LinkedIn, you can go ahead and connect with her on LinkedIn at Rebellious INTL International, Rebellious INTL, to connect with her. You can look her up, check her name out. It's Maria Angelova, on Facebook, on Instagram, on just go check her out. Are you on YouTube too?
Yes,
Probably has a YouTube channel. Yep. So go look for her on social media and connect with her and let her know, send her some love, let her know that you saw her on.
I love like-minded people. I love a tribe. So definitely connect. I'd love to hear from you.
Excellent. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I love this conversation. This has been Love My Body, Love Myself. And again, I want to encourage you to connect with Maria, connect with me. The best ways to connect with me is to go to alicia360.com. That's alicia360.com. Here it is. I had to find it. Alicia360.com, and you can connect with me on all social media platforms out there. You can also look for my books, and they're on Linktree. It's linktr.ee/acouri, and you can check those out and any other of our episodes. Listen, we have a couple other shows here on Red Carpet CEO. So Unleash Your Audacious Confidence, that's on winwinwomen.tv. It's on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern. We have Small Business Saturday Shout Out. It's on the first and third Saturday of a month. So if you have a business and you want to shout out on that, be a guest to get a shout out on that show, please connect with us. This is Black Business Month. So if you have a business, if you have a Black owned business, reach out. Let's do a shout out for you during this month of August. And just email us, support@aliciacouri.com, if you want to be a guest on any of those shows. And if you want to be a guest here on Love My Body, Love Myself, feel free to come on and be a guest. Again, I want to share that one of our sponsors today is FAMU Mary. It's all about finding out more about the legal use of medical marijuana, especially here in the state of Florida. You can go to mmeri.famu.edu to check them out. Every week they do a state of cannabis in America. So you can go there and hit the link to find out more and join that radio program, State of Cannabis in America, to learn more about what we're doing down here for the legal and lawful use of medical marijuana. That's it for our show today. I'm so glad you joined us here on Love My Body, Love Myself. And until next time, I encourage you to go out and do something, maybe a Pilates class or pole dancing. Go do something for you that proves to yourself that you love your body and that you love yourself. And I will see you next time. Mwah, mwah, mwah.